We're going to be triple streaming on all 3 platforms. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are on, ladies and gentlemen. The crux of this video is America is coming, ladies and gentlemen. I've been talking about this for over a year. I've been talking about the prospect of the United Kingdom, Americans coming to the United Kingdom, and the United Kingdom becoming part of America. That's what we're talking about today, guys. And it does seem like you can see this now. You can see this happening in real time. I'm going to be talking about some posts. I'm going to be talking about more things that are happening in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be letting people know how bad the situation is in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going from bad to worse. It's getting worse by the day. And what I want to just talk about really quickly before, if you're not from the United Kingdom, I just want to let you guys know that we have an epidemic in the United Kingdom of things happening to our young girls. And this is usually happening by gentlemen, and then their name is usually Mohammed or, you know, Ahmed or something like that. That are breathtakingly astonishing. The numbers are astonishing, guys. Now, yes, I know what people are going to say. Oh, but you know what? Oh, blah, blah. I don't care, because these are young girls. Young girls, guys. 13, younger, 8 years old is the youngest. Like, and it's not just one person, it's multiple men. Multiple men are abusing these girls, and they're using it like as a gang, as a party, as like some sort of entertainment. I was just streaming on YouTube and X because it is very, very difficult to listen to. But it's unbelievable what's happening in the United Kingdom right now, guys. It's unbelievable. And again, I'm going to put this out there. Am I a bad person because I want to go to the beach and not worry about my girls being taken? I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm a bad person. So, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this video is, again, America is coming, and the United Kingdom must brace for what is coming. Guys, like, brace for what is coming, because it's unbelievable. The crosses of St. George are flying high. And it kind of like the crosses of St. George. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what the cross of St. George represents, I can guarantee that the people putting up and people are saying, oh, it's racist, it's this, it's that, it's terrifying. I don't care. I don't care what you think. People are terrified of that cross, guys. People are terrified of that cross. You know, and like, again, like before the summer started, I was talking about how movements start, how an ideology spreads, how that movement moves and begins and grows. And it's not one person doing one thing. It's not one group of people doing one thing. It's an idea. You cannot lock up an idea, guys. Like, as much as I believe the British government would want to lock up an idea, they can't lock up an idea. So, you know, the cross of St. George, it's an idea. It's ideological warfare. And look, guys, for those people who are scared of the cross of St. George, wait till the Templar cross comes out, because that opens up a whole new can of pass. When the Templar cross comes out, ladies and gentlemen, when people start spraying the Templar cross on things, you know that you've got into, and like, the cross of St. George represents the cross of, so just quickly before I talk, listen, guys, if you're just joining, I'm talking today about America is coming. I believe the United, and I welcome it, guys. I do. I'm going to be quite happy. I welcome that, guys. I really do. But just quickly, I'm just talking about flags at the moment. I'm just going to briefly skim over this because we have done it quite a lot. If people are afraid right now of the cross of St. George, which I mean, the cross of St. George, you can kind of understand why people are, why people are intimidated about the cross of St. George. You can kind of understand why people are scared about the cross of St. George. The cross of St. especially governments, the cross of St. George never stopped fighting. Doesn't matter how overwhelmingly powerful your enemy or foe is, the cross of St. George, when you see that cross, it kind of just means keep going. It kind of just means keep going. Now, as soon as that cross of St. George, hang on. Somebody's trying to join my live stream. Right, Lisa's asking to join my live stream. Right, Lisa, you're going to have to inbox me first. And let me know what you want to talk about, and then we can potentially talk about it. So as soon as that cross of St. George, guys, the cross is a whole new beast in itself. The Templar cross represents, I don't give a fuck anymore. Shit's going down, and I'm on this side of the battle, and we are going to rock this light until the wheels fall off. Let me just actually hang on, guys. My phone's ringing. I've just had a text message, like all the information at once. Give me a second, guys. Hang on, give me a second. Sorry, guys. I'm getting text messages and my phone's going as well. Sorry about that. I do apologize for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, but I do have a job. So when the Templar cross comes out, guys, that's when people really do need to be afraid. I'm just going to Google real quick what does the Templar cross symbolize? Spelled wrong, obviously. So for those of you guys who don't know, the Templar cross, So right now we have a St. George's cross, and that's been put out everywhere. When I talk about stuff, guys, it's going to be the natural evolution. So people right now are putting the cross of St. George out, which is, it's, again, lots of councils are bringing it down. Oh, literally, if you're in America, or if you're not in the United Kingdom, we literally have a scenario where our own flag, the flag of our own country, is being taken down by our own government. That's like the reality. But look, guys, when that cross of St. George turns into a Templar cross, I'm just going to give you what all these things have meaning. So this is what the Templar cross symbolizes. So this is why people, if you're afraid now of the St. George's cross, trust me, when people start putting that Templar cross out, it's time to leave. So the Templar cross symbolized Christian martyrdom, and the knights granted by the Pope this red cross on their white mantles was a mark of honor, representing their devotion to God and their sworn duty to protect the pilgrims across the Holy Land. It signified connection to the church and served as a potent guarantee of paradise for those who fell in battle. So if you're worried about that, guys, if you're worried about the cross of St. George, wait till that turns into a Templar cross, because then all bets are off. That means that young men around this country have taken that oath and they're saying, you know what, it's all going on. I don't care anymore. I'm going, the crux of this live stream is the United States, The United States is, oh, my audio on YouTube is bad. Right, guys, listen, we are triple streaming actually today. We are triple streaming. So I do apologize. I'm getting quite a lot of people on YouTube saying the stream is bad on YouTube. So I'm going to let it run. If you guys want to jump over to X, it may be a little bit better on X. I'm going to let it run. The software I'm using, that will update that, and when that gets uploaded, that will be in 4K. So it is what it is, guys. Sometimes the YouTube's bad, sometimes the TikTok's bad. That's why we're triple streaming. Right, guys, listen. I'm going to jump on the TikTok comments, and I'll jump over onto the I'll jump over onto the YouTube of the X comments. Right, I've just seen a few people in the comments. Right, ladies and gentlemen, look, guys, I welcome anyone to try and call me out. I welcome anyone to come and say that I'm wrong. If you're going to call me out, all right, you just need to understand a couple of things. First of all, I apologize for being vastly more intelligent than you. I know I'm saying that to like the whole world right now, but if the cat fits, wear it. So that's the first thing you need to understand. The second thing you need to understand is if you're going to try and call me out, do it politely. All right. I don't mind people who've got a difference in opinion saying, you know, Sean, I actually think you're wrong because of X, Y, and Z. That's fine. You know, we'll debate it, and then I'll show you where you was wrong. Don't be rude, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be rude. Don't swear, because I'll just block you. I'll live stream, all right? So if you've got something to say, you want to call me out, I welcome it. I do. I actually welcome it, you know. But equally, if you're going to call me out when I'm coming down the chat, then I may not know what you're talking about. So if you know, if your comment says this guy doesn't know, he's wrong about that, I don't know what you're referring to. So try and make it as if I don't know what you're like I say to the girls when they're writing something, pretend I don't know what you're talking about when I'm reading this message. Anyway, guys, I'm going to come down and get the chat. So many comments on the chat tonight, guys. I'm just going to go to the bottom. Dudsbra is saying if you block the trolls and don't react, they will stop. I don't mind people trolling me, guys. I don't mind people calling me out. I just like, you know, it's just weird when people get aggressive and they don't say anything, and when you prove them wrong, they seem to get aggressive about that. Raz, oh, here we go. We've got the first one here. Okay, so Raz 76 is saying it's not even from England, it's just what we chose as our national flag. Does that matter? Raz, does that matter? What does that matter? You kind of seem like a racist. I mean, Raz, are you saying, Raz, that English people, I don't even know what that means, Raz. Raz 76 is saying it's not even from England, it's just what we chose as our national flag. So I don't know what that means, Raz. Can you articulate that a little bit better, please? Because I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. You sound a little racist. I hope you're not. But I hope Raz can articulate his comment a little bit better. Right, Nicola Barrow is saying, of course it is. It's all the planned takedown. I think she's talking about the imminent American intervention into the United Kingdom. Militant Fireman is saying Americans would fight to keep. So my TikTok's gone. My TikTok's gone as well. The TikTok's gone as well. It's all going tonight, ladies. Everything's all the signals bad, ladies and gentlemen, today. But let's just keep going. Let's keep going. I do apologize, guys. The internet is really sketchy tonight. Yeah, both platforms are playing up, guys. Both platforms are playing up. So I do apologize about that. Right, I am back. I do apologize. Right, John is saying, was a red flag event in response to what happened yesterday? do you know what, John? Do you know what, John? That is a fun. Do you know what, John? I didn't actually think about that. Yeah. So, John, I think this is what John's saying. Rabbit holes are not even there. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm hearing off a lot of open source accounts that there was a mass event thwarted today. I think it's outside the Chelsea Football Club. There was a man detained by police. He had a firearm. He had a helmet on. I think he had body armor, spare magazines. So I think there was a mass. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I might be wrong. But what I'm hearing is there was a mass event stopped in the United Kingdom today. Guys, is it that bad, really? Right, guys, what is the TikTok like? Guys, is the TikTok okay? Can we still continue on TikTok? Because I don't know. I don't know if I'm glitching or I know the guys on YouTube, they're complaining it's real bad. Audrey's fine. Jackie Holmes is saying yes, working. Right, guys. I keep getting the notification up. I keep getting the notification. Like I said, when these videos do eventually upload, they will get uploaded because the cameras are recording. So the camera's recording. Just the stream might not be as good. So yeah, yeah, sorry. So there was an incident, I understand, thwarted today outside the Chelsea Football Club. Now, I don't know if this is real or not, but there's lots of social media accounts reporting on it. So this could have been a mass attack planned by I don't know who, some gentleman. Certainly, you know what I saw was being detained on the ground. That is saying that the guy went to a crossplay event and dressed up as a futuristic soldier. Like, Matt, is that real? Is that real? It wasn't real, Sean. Right, okay, so is this what was happening, guys? Was this just a cosplayer? I don't know, guys. I'm just saying what I've heard and what's been reported. Right. Lucky Fries, you've been very rude, Lucky Fries. You've been very rude for quite a while. You keep jumping up. You don't say anything. In fact, hang on, I'm not going to block them just yet. So Luciala Barbara Friars is saying, stop lying. Right. I'm going to pin this comment that guy's been jumping. Oh, woman, I don't know who he is or she. She's been jumping up. You've been very rude. You've not been saying anything intelligent. I feel sorry for you. I hope you can find God. But for those reasons, I'm out. And you're gone. Gone now. Gone. Ruined it. Like, he just ruined an opportunity there to like, you know, if you're sat there and you're looking and you're listening to the things I'm saying, you know, and you're like, oh, that guy's useless. He's this, he's that. Rather than being silly, rather than embarrassing yourself, why don't you try and call me out, make me look silly? Why don't you try and give me facts and figures? In fact, let me unpin this now because he's gone. Why don't you try and call me out instead? Give me facts and figures and try and make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about, rather than just make a fool of yourself and get yourself blocked because he's not coming on again. 5 masked men in Drayton, London, attempted to enter a migrant hotel. Yeah, I've seen this. I don't know obviously the ins and outs of this, but I saw this headline as well. So masked men are now trying. Guys, look, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If you're watching and you're not in the United Kingdom, the situation in the United Kingdom, literally every day is getting worse, guys. Like every day there's headlines. Every day there's headlines involving 8, 9, 10-year-old girls that have been, something's happened to them at the hands of people whose first names don't sound like they're English. every day, guys. Now the critical mass has been reached. You know, the critical mass really has been reached. You know, it's absolutely unbelievable now. And look, guys, I was talking about this a year ago. I was talking about this a year ago. I was talking about, you know, I was talking about the United States coming over to the United Kingdom, some sort of infrastructure. I don't know how that's going to happen. We need, like here in the United Kingdom, we need some sort of legal protection because we do not have any sort of legal protection. And like if you're in the United Kingdom as well, you literally have, you know, you're literally a second-class citizen. You are literally a second-class citizen now if you live in the United Kingdom. That's not me saying that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the government saying that by extension of the not the Foreign Office. That wouldn't be that would be the government, but not internal. By the Home. And it's unbelievable, guys. It really is. So what I'm saying is, you know, the first step to fighting back is to understand what's legal. And as JFK said, if a government makes a peaceful revolution impossible, they also make a violent revolution inevitable. And that is where I feel we're going at this. Call me Jay, hang on. Call me Jay is on TikTok is saying, what I don't understand, Starmer is, well, okay, so let's just all be under, let's just all come under the common agreement, all right, that Keir Starmer is not in charge. But Call Me Jay is saying, what I don't understand is right, somebody called Wahid is trying to join. Wahid, I'm just going to, no, Wahid, you're not coming on. Yeah, Wahid's gone now. What I don't understand is Starmer is saying he's going to stop the boats, but the government is bringing, and I think what she said, yeah. So this is the reality, guys. You know, I don't believe the government want to stop the boats. I don't believe the government will stop the boats. You know, and until that happens, the situation here in the United Kingdom is going to get worse. Until at some point we are going to see United States intervention. Now, I would like the first step of that intervention be legal scrutiny. Now, I believe we need legal scrutiny here because, you know, all these people who are going out protesting and getting arrested and saying like, listen, you can't put people in jail for shouting at dogs. You can't. Like, look, and I love dogs. You know, I do. I love dogs. I think, guys, I think we're untenable on TikTok. I really do. Right, there's some problems with our live. Give me a second, guys. Right, I'm getting notifications up saying that I'm glitching all the time. Right, okay. Hang on, give me a second, guys. Some things have just jumped up on the screen. Right, let me just close some apps because I've got Word open. Let me close that one. Oh God, what's happened? What's happened? Do I need to save that? Yes, I'll save that. Oh, sent it. That's a mark. That needs to be closed. Right, my screen now is just totally gone swizzling. Right, I think we're back. Right, that may have helped. I don't know. I've just closed a couple of apps. In fact, let me close this one as well. That's the show. Anyway, right, let me get some comments, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. The internet's been very bad today. Look, guys, if you're just joining for the first time, the crux of this video is America is coming. It's an inevitability, guys, right? We are going to have a US takeover of the United Kingdom. It's coming, guys. You know, there's no denying it now. You can see this now in real time. You can, if you open your eyes, you can literally look at these posts that these big US influence these big sites, these big sites. Look what they're posting. Look what they're sharing. Look what they're talking about. Look how this is driving public opinion in the United Kingdom. And I do look, guys, and I actually welcome that. I do. Jackie Holmes is saying. So Jackie Holmes is saying, Sean, is it true? Sean, is it true that 15,000 of the armed forces have left? Yeah. So there was an article out in the, there was an article out in the United Kingdom. 15,000 under Keir Starmer, 15,000 soldiers have left the military. Now, the military in the United Kingdom is vastly undermanned as it is, vastly undermanned, and I just think this is a direct reflection of the government and how the government are handling domestic politics. M661, I'm going to pin this, is saying, M661 is saying, so what will that mean for us if America takes over? I think, look, guys, I don't see negativity coming from a US takeover. First of all, we will have a constitution, all right? And listen, if Karen or anybody in the chat is writing right now that, oh, we do have a constitution in the United Kingdom, Sean, it's called the English, right? Just stop before you post that. Just before you post that, you're wrong, all right? Don't embarrass yourself. Anyone, please, nobody embarrass themselves by commenting that there's an English constitution or there's a British constitution, because there's not. So please just don't embarrass yourself. If you're thinking that, you're wrong. There isn't. So what I mean by that is we have no means to hold the government to account. So, for example, if the government if the people of the United Kingdom voted to close a migrant hotel down, and it was unanimous and everybody wanted to close that hotel down, and the government came up and said, yeah, no, we're more important than you. We're gonna keep it open. We have no legal way of resisting a government. There isn't. There's no legal way of resisting that government. In America, they have the Constitution, and that gives them a legal framework to resist that. Hang on. Just Jenny. Oh God. Just Jenny is, if I'm not going to mute Just Jenny, but Just Jenny is saying scaremongering for likes and shares. He never gets anything right. Okay, fair enough, Just Jenny. You might be new to the channel, but listen, as soon as Just Jenny's mentioning it, guys, listen, we are triple streaming today. Can you guys do me a real big favor? Hit that like, comment, subscribe, bell notification. The buttons up here. If you're watching on TikTok, can you hit those follow buttons? If you're watching on YouTube, the buttons are down below the subscribe, like, bell notification. All those buttons that help this channel grow, guys. So thank you, Just Jenny, for reminding me. So Candy Rocks is saying the plan is to wipe out Christianity and make us a minority. I mean, look, it does feel like there are parts of the United Kingdom where white Christian values are the minority. It really does, guys. It really does. It feels like that's a big thing. But look, this is what's coming to the United Kingdom. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Look, guys, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if it's happened. It may have even already happened again. So what I'm talking about, all the flags going up, all these flags that are going up, what's going to happen is other people are going to start to put flags up. So you're going to have Somalian flags. You're going to have Eritrean flags. You're going to have Afghanistan, Afghani flags, sorry. You're going to have Iraqi flags. You're going to have flags from all different nations. And that's going to be the start of segregation. Because if you live in in a George's Cross part of town, you ain't going to want to walk over to the Somalian part of town because bad stuff's going to happen. So that's like the segregation. That is literally the division part of divide and conquer. But remember, guys, we have done this to ourselves. We really have. Kaz Wakey is saying, hang on. These migrants have been invited over an invading army. The UK is gone forever. Yeah, do you know what, actually, Kaz? Like, I don't think people understand the enormity of what Kaz has just said there. So Kaz over on TikTok, he's just saying, the UK is gone forever. There's no going back, ladies and gentlemen. There's no going back to 1995. Not a chance. There's not even any chance of going back to 2001. There is no going back. You know, absolutely no going back. What's happened now, the changes that have happened to the United Kingdom, there's no way that they go back. You can't go back. We're gonna move forwards now. What that forwards looks like, that's in our hands. That is the future is in our hands. You know, we can look back in time and we can say, oh, do you know what? 1995 was the best year. We can look back and say, no, it was 82, or no, it was back in the summer of 69. You know, we can argue about the past. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, contrary to some popular beliefs, we don't go backwards. Time is linear. We only move one way. Yes, I know I've done videos talking about mesh time, but just for the purpose of this video, as we perceive it now, time only works one way. Oh, here we are. Oh, do you know what? I kind of want to thank this guy. I kind of want to thank Young Pug. So Young Pug's just commented, the people putting up the flags, putting flags up are gammons and chavs. I'd much rather the genuine migrants than them. Okay, so he's worded that right. He's talking about genuine migrants, right? Oh, right. Okay, so right, Young Pug. Right, Young Pug. I hope you're going to stay on and debate with me. I hope you are. So Young Pug is calling people who put flags up a gammon and a chav. So first of all, Young Pug, can you identify, Young Pug, can you identify what you mean by a gammon and a chav? Because, like, I don't know what you mean by a gammon and a chav. Like, I like eating gammon. I do. I like a good gammon steak on the barbecue. So let's identify the problem first, and then we'll find the solution. Kaz again is saying the government want chaos, so they've planned an attack to make us all kick off. Young Pug is saying let's swap them. Gammons, racist. Right, okay. I'm going on a blocking spree, actually, guys. Hang on. Right. Yeah. Right, Young Pug, with respect, please come back on another day when you can articulate yourself with, like, you know, words that don't make you sound silly. And I'll let you talk. I will. I'll let you talk. Young Pug, if you want to articulate yourself like a gentleman, use the power of conversation, all right? Use the power of conversation, all right? I'm not going to block you, but you're just being rude now. You're being rude. And what I will say is, you know, if you're going to be rude, if you're going to be, you know, unkind, I'm just going to block you. I don't mind you calling people out. Like, you know, if he'd have come back, like if Young Pug would have come back to me then and said, oh, well, thanks, Sean. I actually, when I say gammon, what I mean is somebody that's X, Y, and Z. He didn't do that. It was just rude, and now he's gone. But I do hope he comes back tomorrow, and we can have, you know, we can have a better conversation with Young Pug. And then I'll just change his mind, and he'll be putting flags up himself. Right, guys, I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Lincolnshire Templar is saying, these gammons and chavs are the real people of this country. What do we mean by a gammon, guys? Like, what? I genuinely don't know. I mean, I think, what do we mean by a gammon? Like, what is a gammon? What, you know what? I'm going to ask AI. Right. Ham that's been smoked cured like bacon. I don't think that means I don't right. So what do I need to search for in British culture? Right. Gammon is a term popularized in British culture since the 2010s. The term refers to the color of a white person's flushed face, which resembles the type of pork of the same name. All right, okay, so it's a massive racial, slur. I didn't know that, guys. I didn't know that. Every day is school day. So actually, calling someone a gammon is a massive racial insult. There it is. That's white racism for you guys. I'm glad I kicked him off. I'm glad he's gone. Sherlock Homeboy is saying, shame they don't have a constitution. 2A is priceless. I think he's calling by the Second Amendment is priceless. Yeah, Sherlock Homeboy. So Sherlock Homeboy there, I think is from America, is saying it's a shame people in the United Kingdom don't have it. Is, guys, because do you know what would happen? So look, guys, let me just real quick. Let me play this out for you. If we had the American Constitution in the United Kingdom, you know, when the government say, yeah, we're not doing that. Do you know what happens? Everybody turns up with their guns and we say, yeah, we are. Yeah, that's happening. Yeah, we're doing this. We voted on it. It's done. We're closing that hotel. What? Yeah, we altered. That's how we roll. That's what we're doing. That's what happens when you've got a constitution. That's what happens when you have rights to oppose the government. Here in the UK, we do not have the right to oppose the government. We have the right to vote every 4 years. How's that getting along, guys? How's the voting coming along? Yeah, I agree, Sherlock Homeboy. John is saying John on YouTube is saying, I'm guessing he's calling you a pig. Yeah, look, guys, you know, when somebody says, like, you know, if somebody's saying something to you and you don't understand it, just ask them. Literally, just ask them. I wasn't 100% sure what he meant by people calling, you know, by him calling people gammons, but yeah, I didn't realize. But yeah, calling someone gammon is a massive racial slur. So there you go, guys. You know, I didn't realize that. Debbie Phillips is saying you can see where it's. Hang on, sorry guys, the chat's going crackers. So Debbie Phillips over on TikTok is saying you can see we are at boiling point. We are, guys. We are at absolute boiling point right now in the United Kingdom. And look, guys, if you're watching from America, if you're watching from somewhere else in the world, like here in the UK, it is bonkers. Literally every day, it just gets worse. But Debbie Phillips has commented and she said, you can see. Hang on. You can see we're at boiling point. Sorry, guys. Every time I start reading, the chat goes crackers. You can see we're at boiling points. I've never known times like this. I agree. And what I'm going to add to that, Deborah Phillips, sorry, not Debbie. I do apologize if I'm shortening on your name. I do. You know, you are christened Deborah, and I shall call you such. You know, the simmering point in the UK, like people are scared to go to the beach with their children. People are scared to walk down the high street. You know, it's unbelievable. And every day, literally every day, we have a new scenario, a new headline where a 13-year-old girl, a 12-year-old girl, an 8-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl. You know what I'm talking about every day, guys. And then you get the mugshots of these people, or, you know, you get the mugshots of these people. There's something that connects that, isn't there? There's something, there's a connection there, isn't there? There's the connection that we're not allowed to talk about. Carter Donald is saying, America is coming, ? I hope we help you. You need it. Yeah, you're 100% right, Donald. I've been talking about for a long time. I've been talking about the United States coming over to coming over to the United Kingdom, and I believe that is going to happen, guys. I really do. I believe the United Kingdom, I believe there's going to be some sort of US intervention into the United Kingdom, and eventually the United Kingdom will become part of the United States. And I, for one, I do, guys, I welcome that. You know, I do welcome that. Right, guys, I'm going to jump over. Chris White over on YouTube is saying, I think we're underestimating the threat. They actually bring TikToks full of guns and material. I don't know what that means. I think we're underestimating the threat. They actually bring TikToks. I think, right, okay, so what I think Chris White is getting to here is we think we're underestimating the threat, and what he's talking about there is you know, the amount of people posting videos on TikTok, posting videos online of them using these things in other countries. And look, guys, let me just be clear. You know, if you see, like, you know, there's like there's a mayor in the United Kingdom. I don't know. There's a mayor, and he's got pictures on his social media with an AK-47, and people are thinking it's really bad. It's not. We need to stop being pussies about guns, guys. We really do. We really need to stop being pussies about it. You know, most of the world, that stuff's legal. All right, most of the world, that stuff is legal. So just because someone has a picture with a 9 or with an AK or an AK-47 or whatever, doesn't make them a bad person. You know, it really doesn't. And I think people need to stop thinking about that. You know, people really need to stop thinking that just because somebody's in another country and they've got a picture online with a, I don't know, a Beretta or something, you know, they're a bad person. They're not. All right, that sort of stuff all over the world, you know, it's totally fine. It's totally legal. And I don't see the problem with it. I really don't, guys. Oh, Jackie Holmes is saying, Sean, the sound on YouTube is terrible. Right, guys, listen, I will cut this one short then tonight. I will cut this one short. Apparently the sound's bad on YouTube. The positive thing is, when this gets uploaded later on in the day, as soon as I finish streaming, it will all get uploaded in 4K. All the sound and all the issues should get better. Should be rectified. Sorry. Oh, but then Jamie's saying the sound's fine. So maybe it's Jackie. Maybe it's the sound on you. Maybe it's the sound on your phone. I don't know. Have you got it turned up? I don't know. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this live stream is America is coming. I believe it's going to happen, guys. I really do believe like the United States are going to move over and they're going to intervene in the United Kingdom. We can't go on like this in the UK, guys. We really can't. It's untenable. It's untenable that every day we are. In fact, you know what? I'm going to jump over to YouTube real quick, guys. I'm going to jump over to YouTube real quick because Elon Musk posted something earlier on today. Do you know what? Should I just read it? Do you know what? I think I can read this actually. Do you know what? I'm going to read this. I may get restricted for this. No, that's gone as well. That's gone as well. I'm being disconnected all over the place. I am being disconnected all over the place. I'm going from there. I'm going from there. Seems like every time I mention Elon Musk or I say I'm gonna repeat something, I get kicked off. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am actually going to jump over to YouTube now. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. The internet connection, for whatever reason, it's glitching on TikTok, guys. So I am going to jump over to YouTube, and I'm going to read you this post, and I'm going to comment about it. So Elon Musk posted today. There's something of Britain. I'm just going to read this, and I'm going to miss out the key words that will get the live stream banned. So, Pakistani thug Ibrahim Hussain locked a 13-year-old girl in his filthy basement, a living nightmare straight out of hell. So, I'm going to be talking about that when we jump over to YouTube, guys. All right, it's unbelievable. It really is. Oh, hang on. You know, it really is crazy, guys. You know, every day these things are happening. Every day, if you live in the United Kingdom, every day you're seeing these things. Every day, 13-year-old girl, 12-year-old girl. Oh, this girl got kidnapped for this long. Yeah, 12 men. Yeah, 12 men kidnapped that girl. 8 men kidnapped that girl. Yeah, this girl got forced drugs. This girl happened to this. And it's always the same thing. Gangs of men, you know the type of men I'm talking about. I'll talk about it. Do you know what, guys? Should I continue reading? It's just unbelievable, guys. You know, unbelievable what's happening in the United Kingdom. And the social services in the UK, I'm not making this up. So I don't, if you're not from the UK, we have something called social services, and it's like a government body, and they're supposed to go around and make sure people are safe. These girls, I think there was a girl, and I think she was 11 years old. And social services said that this girl was a prostitute. I don't know how that happens, guys, because in the UK, the law is the age of consent in the UK is 16. Anything under 16, there's a word for that. It begins in R and sounds like grape. So that went through the government system. The government, the people who work for the government thought, oh, this law doesn't apply to this girl. This girl, no. This girl does not have the protection of the law. That's what they said. But when you think about it, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. Trust me, guys, all right? So then you think, right, okay. So first of all, you had the social service, person, I don't know, the auditor who went out, and they're like, 11-year-old girl, she is going with these men in their 30s, you know, that conduct is happening. Okay, right. That person thinks, first of all, that person thinks that she's a prostitute. That's the first problem. Even the thought of an 11-year-old girl that is even a thing, it's ridiculous. So that's the first problem. The second problem is the law in the UK is anyone under 16, the word for it sounds like grape. So it's pretty cut and shut. How old are you? 11. Right, that's not what it is. That's the law, guys. That is literally the law. The third thing that comes to mind is when that report was written, that had to be handed to a supervisor to get written off, to get signed off. So when that report was then written and they give that to the supervisor, that supervisor must have then read that and thought, oh yeah, we have 11-year-old prostitutes now in this region. Oh yeah, that's fine. What's the age of consent? 16. What does that make sense? Every day, guys, every day we get some similar stuff. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to jump over now to YouTube, and I'm going to continue the rest of this article. I'm going to continue the rest of this article because it is every day. And I think if you're in America, if you're outside the UK, you really don't understand the depths of this problem. You don't understand the social fabric of what's happening here in the United Kingdom. It's unbelievable. There was a just before I go on TikTok, this is how crazy it is. This is how crazy this is. So in Rotherham, which was where this story broke, 1,400 white girls had been groomed by predominantly Pakistani Muslim males. Now, I'm not being controversial saying that. All the evidence is out. No, there it is. I could argue the number is a lot higher. I could argue the number is a lot higher. I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that's what the official numbers say. Now, you did not hear a squeak, not one peep out of the Muslim community. Not one squeak. No, there was no imam saying, this is disgusting. I'm ashamed of my community. This is disgusting. How can you do this to not one squeak from any Not one peep from any imam in anyone. No one, guys. Absolutely no one from the Muslim community made a noise. They were just like, meh. Tell me I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Please tell me I'm wrong. Then, because a lot of this stuff was happening in taxis. So girls were going out on nights out. They were drunk. People were picking them up. Things were happening in the taxis. Now, just as this is how it happened. So the law in Rotherham at that particular town, if an incident happened if a crime happened in a taxi, that crime had to be reported to the taxi licensing agency. Then that taxi licensing agency had to then refer it to the police. And all these people are phoning up saying, this has just happened to my daughter. This has just happened to my girlfriend. This has just happened to my wife. They were, the licensing agency was saying, whoa, that's like a really serious crime. You need to phone to the police. So then they're phoning the police, and the police are saying, it happened in a taxi. You need to phone the. So nothing happened. Nothing happened, and that's why it went on for so long. So a lot of this stuff happened in the taxis. Now, bear that in mind, guys. All right, all this stuff's happening in the taxis. Predominantly Pakistani Muslim men. I don't think I'm being controversial saying that. It's all over the mainstream about that, guys. I could give you inside information, but that would be speculation. Remember, not one imam, not one Muslim community. There was no Muslim, how when something happens and everybody's like, they will not divide us, peace and unity, let's all change our Facebook profiles, pictures. You heard nothing, guys, nothing from the Muslim community. But you know what? As soon as the government said, yeah, we want you to have cameras in your taxis, oh my God, you should have heard it. Oh, this is racist. There was all out on the streets protesting. There was banners all over. And that's what kicked them off. They weren't bothered. They weren't bothered about raping of girls. They were bothered about having to put a camera in their taxi to stop them raping girls. Anyway, guys, listen, I am going to jump over now onto YouTube. I'm going to continue this on YouTube. I'm going to continue about, I'm going to get these articles off YouTube, guys. I'm going to get these articles I'm going to talk about these articles on YouTube. They are a little bit difficult to listen to, but, I think if you're in America, if you're outside the United Kingdom right now, I really do think you need to listen to this. Anyway, guys, I am going to jump over now to YouTube. I'm going to close this down now. I'm the Real Raven One on, guys, I'm the Real Raven One on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven One on X. I'm triple streaming at the moment. Don't worry. If you missed the first part of the video, all these videos are going to get uploaded. They will get uploaded in 4K onto YouTube. So I'm going to close this TikTok down now, and then I will be over on YouTube. And I will warn you guys, it's going to be a bit distressing. And we are off. Right, we're off, guys. So I'm going to read this article. Now, this is an article posted. Elon Musk posted this. And this is like, you can tell people are look, guys, I've got lots of friends. I've got lots of friends who live in Americans, lots of friends, British friends who live in America as well. And we have group chats quite often. In fact, there's one going at the moment. I need to. I'll leave it for now. And they always say to me, they say, Sean, what's happening in your country right now? It's painful to watch. It's painful for us to watch as Americans. And I've been saying that this is coming for a long time, and you can kind of see it right now. So Elon Musk posted this earlier, guys. Okay, I'm just going to read it. I am going to miss the keywords out, but you're going to know what they are anyway. There's something of Britain. Pakistani thug Ibrah Hussain locked a 13-year-old girl in his filthy basement, a living nightmare straight out of hell. This savage forced her into a heroin haze, then brutalized her for an entire month, shattering her innocence with every vile act. Not content with his only depravity, Hussein unleashed the beast further, inviting 7 more cronies to join in the assault on the drugged, helpless victim. And let's not forget, guys, this is a 13-year-old girl, and this is not an isolated incident. This is not an isolated incident. This is happening all over the country. All over the country, guys, all over the country. Turning her suffering into profit, this monster raked in cash from the unspeakable horror, a cold-blooded pimp of pure evil. Ibra Hussein, 47. So this is a 47-year-old man. Like, what 47-year-old man is like 30? I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's unbelievable. Sorry, Ibra Hussein, 47, and brothers, Imtiaz Ahmed, 62. He was 62. Fayed Ahmed, 45, were sentenced to 6.5 years, 9 years, and 7 years and a half, respectively, at Bradford Crown Court. Both the Ahmed brothers fled the country and have escaped justice. 5 of the 8 will not have their sentences reviewed as the case did not meet the threshold. And then he posts a link to the article. So you can see what's happening now in the United Kingdom. And look, guys, I don't know whether that happened or not. I wasn't there. I need to caveat. I'm gonna literally slope shoulders onto Elon Musk. All right. So Elon Musk posted that. I'm not posting that. I'm saying I do not want to get Lucy Conley. All right. I don't want to get Lucy Conley. I'm just repeating what Elon Musk said. Now, I don't know if there's a law against that yet in the UK, but if there is and I get arrested, I am totally blaming Elon. All right. I am totally blaming Elon. I'm saying, Elon, this is on you, mate. You need to help me out. But what I'm getting at here, guys, is it's not just one thing. It's every day you're seeing headlines like this in the United Kingdom. Every day. And is there any wonder why people is there any wonder why people in the UK are fed up? We just fed up for having his kids raped, man. That's it. I just don't want. I don't want to live in fear of the girls being raped. Like, that is literally it. I can underline it there. That's it. Does that mean am I a bad person? Am I not woke? Am I not woke if that happens? And it's just all the time, guys. It's all the time. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's just ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. But look, guys, the crux of this live stream is America is coming. America is coming, guys, okay? The United Kingdom, brace for the storm. We do have a storm in front of us, guys. All hell is breaking loose, guys. Literally, if you're not in the United Kingdom, follow what's happening on X, because X is the best one for it. TikTok do a lot of good videos as well. There's a lot of live streams on YouTube as well. But people have really had enough. And I did a video early on, and it's not the people, and the people are starting to understand now that the government are against them. Now, why am I saying that? I'm saying that because courts are going against the people. The government, our own government are saying, and I'm not making this up, guys. I'm not twisting words here. I'm not manipulating words. I'm not trying to, say something that it's not. The government in the United Kingdom have said, and every time I say this, I have to didactify myself. The government in the United Kingdom have said this. In the UK, the government in the UK have said that the rights of non-British citizens outweigh the rights of British citizens. That is, I'm not making that up. That's not me pretending. That's not me saying, oh, it feels like this. No, no. I don't have to. That is literally what the Home Office in the United Kingdom have said. It's unbelievable, guys. You know, and I do really, and I understand I understand the massive. I do, guys. I understand the massive amounts of subversion that are happening right now. I do. I understand those massive amounts of subversion. But ultimately, I just want to feel safe for my girls. You know that. You know, and that is fundamentally where everything gets built from. Where everything gets built from. Tales from the Borough is saying, WTF, the UK is FUCKED. Yeah, it really does feel like it, you know. And I do think things are going to get worse, a lot worse, until the US, you know, the United States step in and they say, yeah, that's not happening anymore. But things will get worse, guys. You know, things will get worse. Look, guys, real quick, I just want to go through that. I just want to go through a few things. So everybody's even like, you get people right now who are about a year behind, and they still think that voting for Nigel Farage or voting for reform is going to change anything. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to change anything. I was standing as a candidate for reform and I resigned. I understand the problems that they have. I understand, you know, I understand everything that's going off there. I resigned from reform because I didn't want to be anything. I didn't want to be involved with them. So I just think it could be a potentially wasted opportunity. Oh, here's something's going to make you laugh. Let me play this. Give me a second. So this is a BBC interview, right? And listen to what people are chanting behind. The protesters are chanting things like "get them out." So you've got the you've got everybody in the background, and they're chanting something that sounds like Keir Starmer is a banker, and he's saying, "Yes, the protesters are chanting, get them out," and you can hear him in the background going, "Keir Starmer is a banker. Keir Starmer is a banker," and the BBC guys going, "Oh yes," and they're chanting, "Get them out." That's not what they're chanting. We've got ears. It's kind of like that. Let's go Biden. You know the "Let's go Biden" thing that like you guys had in America like a couple of years ago. It's literally like it's like pound for pound copy of "Let's go Biden." But yeah, it's hard to disagree with that statement. Matt is saying, "Oh, in fact, hang on, John Doe. Hang on, all right, okay, right. I've got quite a few comments here. Texas Made is saying, why do you think America will make UK part of the US? I'm just trying to understand where you're getting that. Texas Made. I think there's a bigger plan here. There's a bigger plan here to implement an Anglosphere. Now, the Anglosphere will be Britain, Ireland, America, Greenland, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and I also think Taiwan and Japan. Also, in that Anglosphere, that will encompass Antarctica as well. And the reason I believe America, first of all, there's the moral reason. You know, there's the moral reason, and then there's the financial reason. The United Kingdom, we sit on the world's biggest oil reserve, and the whoever's in the United Kingdom, we control Antarctica. In 2048, the mineral exploration, I don't know what, the Antarctica Treaty gets lifted in 2048. So Britain will, in 2048, Antarctica is Britain. Britain is Antarctica. And I do think this is going to lead further on. I do think this is going to lead on to a mass exodus to Antarctica. John Doe, hello John Doe, is saying the United States isn't our savior, mate. No, I don't think they're our savior. I think they're going to give us the tools to save ourselves. And I do think that we are going to come under, we're going to be a state of the United States. Matt is saying, how can the US get involved legally? Listen, what I would put to you, Matt, is how can the government smuggle people into this country legally? How can the government make all sorts of shady deals all over the world? at this level, like at government level, what's legal or not legal doesn't really matter. You know, it's all open to interpretation anyway. Jackie is saying he doesn't reside in the UK. Who's that, Jackie? Who doesn't reside in the UK? Hang on, guys. I'm just jumping on the chat. Right. Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on. I'm not right. Hang on. Right. So Jim Smith is saying, give colonies back if you want European ethno-states. What do you mean by that, Jim? Give colonies back? Like, what colonies do Britain have? Like, what do you mean by that, Jim? What colonies do you mean? But don't worry, Jim. Don't worry, Jim. You're going to have it all real soon, Jim. You're going to have it all. You are. You're going to have it all real soon. You're going to have it all. You know, when we all move to Antarctica and we take our technology and we take our military and we take our laws and our civilization and our respect for each other, you guys can have it, have everything. You guys go dance and be happy, you know. But you know what? You know, when there's nobody to pay taxes, you're kind of going to have a rude awakening. Right, he's putting capitals again. Leave the colonies, then people of colour might leave Europe. Jim, right. Okay, right. Will people... Okay. Right, I'm going to get all Jim's comments because I can see he's a little bit excited. How about, yeah, we've said, okay, Europeans leave Latin America, Canada, what? Australia, New Zealand, Chile, Dominican Republic. Can you imagine the shithole that those countries would go to if white Europeans left? Can you imagine how quickly they would descend into anarchy? Where has it ever worked when white Europeans have left somewhere and it's flourished? Can you give me that example, Jim? Can you tell me which one of the ex-colonies has flourished when the white Europeans leave? Tell me which one of those colonies flourished. South Africa, has that flourished? I don't know. South Africa? Zimbabwe? How is it going in Zimbabwe, Jim? How are things in Zimbabwe? We will kick all the white farmers off the farms. Yeah, we've got no food now because we can't farm. But it is our land. Like, where are you going with that, Jim? I don't understand. I don't know. Jim. Right, Jim, you're putting a lot of stuff on here, mate. I don't know what you're really talking about. Right, Jim, don't swear, mate. Jim, don't swear. I don't know what Jim's going on about. With respect, yeah. Stop pretending you don't understand what I'm saying. This is what really winds me up. This is what really winds me up. And look, I don't know who you are, Jim. You've got no picture on there. I don't know who you are. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, if you're gonna call me out, you need to understand I am vastly more intelligent than you, Jim. And I mean, don't disrespect by that. It's just the fact, you know, it's just the fact. If you jump in water, you're gonna get wet. If you're gonna argue with me, you've got to keep on the back foot. You've got to keep it in your wallet that you know that I am vastly more intelligent. Now, you're rambling and I'm asking you to explain what you're talking about. And now you're saying you're throwing it back at. So what am I supposed to say to you, Jim? I genuinely don't understand what you mean. I think what you're saying, Jim, is if white people all go back to Europe, then, and it's, why are you bringing race into this, Jim? Because that's a massively racist thing. Like, I wouldn't want black people to like leave the United Kingdom, you know. Like, I know a lot of black people who are as English as me. You know, if you support like British culture, getting up, going to work, paying your taxes, looking after your family, you know, cucumber sandwiches, cricket on a summer fair. If that's what you're into, I'm all for you. And to me, honestly, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. I don't know why you're bringing like black and white people into this unless you're like a closet racist, which is fine. That's on you, and I respect you for that. I'm not going to judge. You're free to be whoever you want to be, but I genuinely don't know what you mean. Can you take your climate change and atom bomb? Right, okay. Jim's talking, right, Jim. So here's the thing. Jim, what else do you want us to take with us? Should we take aeroplanes with us as well? Should we take aeroplanes, MRIs, modern medicine? Should we take those things with us? You know, ships, combustion engines. Should we take those with them? And you don't like, and we don't give them to anywhere else in the world? Like, if it wasn't for Europeans, literally most of the world would still be scratching on the floor for nuts and berries. Is that how you want your life, Jim? Scrambling for nuts and berries? Or do you like claiming your benefits every Tuesday and Wednesday and then going down to the supermarket and spending your free money? I don't know. Maybe you want to go and forage for nuts and berries. I would suspect a high percentage of the population prefer their free government money, which is funded by the taxpayers, and they don't want to go foraging for nuts and berries in the woods. So if you're saying take your, I don't know what that means. Anyway, Jim, I am going to put you in. I'm not going to put you in timeout, Jim. I'm just gonna leave you there for a bit. Jim, look, Jim, I'm not blocking you. Jim, I love you, mate. I love you. I don't know why you're telling me, why you think go on block me. I just want to get a conversation out of you that's legible. I just want to get a conversation out of you that's legible, mate. All right, because it's like debating with somebody, and you're just rambling, mate. So I don't know where you're going with that. Anyway, wow, there's lots from Jim, guys, lots from Jim. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close this one down now. Jim, I hope you come back to. Oh, hang on. Right, Jim is saying I think what Jim's meaning is I'd rather go and scratch for nuts and berries than live among violent Europeans. Jim, why don't you go? Literally, right now, I mean, no disrespect, you don't have to live among violent Europeans. Like, you could go right now. You could go now. You could get on a flight. There'll be a charity that does it. You could go to somewhere in Africa and you can scratch for nuts and berries. Like, nothing's stopping you. Why are you still here, mate? Why don't you go and forage for those? I don't even know who you are, Jim. But Jim's saying I think Jim's saying he would rather forage for nuts and berries than live amongst violent Europeans, whilst living among violent Europeans, whilst a certain demographic is openly attacking Europeans. Wow, Jim, go and look on the Office for National Statistics and go and look on their website, okay, and look at the crime statistics by nationality. Literally, go and look at the crime statistics by nationality. Like if you're in Britain, like you're right at the bottom, like white British people commit like none of the violent crime, like none of it. You know, I think at the top, it's like the top of the chart is like Afghanis, I think maybe like Somalians, Eritreans, you know. So they're I don't know what Jim's going on. Oh, hang on a minute. Jim's saying, what's a white European doing in Australia? Bit like a Rwandan Welshman. I don't know what you mean there, Jim. What's a white European do? Okay, Jim. Right, okay, Jim. So when white Europeans, a long time ago, Jim, it was before I was born, buddy. I had nothing to do with it. And if you, do you want does Jim want reparations? I don't know. Look, people used to explore. They used to go to a country and there was nothing there. Land, sheep, the odd cow. And settlers would then develop that land and build a civilization. That's what happens. That's what happens, Jim. That's evolution. But Jim, listen, it's not the Jim show, it's the Raven show, guys. Right, Jim. Right, I am going to mute you for a bit, Jim. I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to put you in timeout for a bit because I think you need to cool off. Yeah, listen, Bill, you are 100% right. Look, guys, this is the problem. Like when you deal, like when you, and I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but if you're arguing with somebody who's not smart, it's very difficult because you're coming across to them and you're saying, like, you know, he said, yeah, well, I live in Europe now and I'm getting my free money off the government, but I'd rather be scratching for nuts and berries than have to live around these violent Europeans. Like, go. Like, who's stopping you? Who's stopping you? Well, I get free money here and healthcare and like there's a roof over my head and I don't have any skills to build a shelter. So I'm just going to stay here, but I don't like it. I don't like it. The argument just falls apart. Right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, I am going to go now because the internet has been playing up. It has been playing up. Listen, guys, if you're on and you've not done so already, can you please hit those buttons below? The what are they below? The subscribe, the bell notification, and the like. Do all those things that help me out, guys. So I really appreciate each and every one of you. Share my stuff as well, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe there's going to be more US intervention into the United Kingdom. And I think the first step of that, intervention, excuse me, I think the first step of that intervention is going to be some sort of legal framework where people in the United Kingdom have a legal framework where we can protect ourselves. Because right now, guys, and I mean protect ourselves from the government, because right now we have no way of protecting ourselves from the government. Literally, the government can make a law, and like however ridiculous that law is, if you don't go with it, you know, you're against. Literally, the police will come and stop you, even if they believe it's a ridiculous law. And that's how ridiculous this scenario is right now, guys, in the UK. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close this one down now. Yes, I am. Jackie Holmes is saying, drinky time with my fella. And good luck to you, Jackie. I hope you have a lovely evening. Right, guys, I'm going to close this down now. I will see you back on tomorrow at 10.